Today we're going to stream a couple of brawlers. We're doing Double Dragon first, Double Dragon first, and then we're going to jump into Streets of Rage 4, which is new and which I love from the bottom of my heart. It is an amazing game, and I figured it would be a pretty cool thing to jump back to the original where it all starts, brawler-wise. Yeah, Double Dragon. Old favorite. One I never managed to actually beat in the arcades when it was actually current. And playing it through from an older and wiser perspective, and knowing a little more about game design, I can kind of understand why. It's made to eat your quarters. English tier. Which isn't to say that it's totally primitive or that it didn't, like, it was just like a quarter eater. A lot of the mechanics are pretty... I don't know the history of the genre enough to say it's the first one that did this, but it certainly is one of the best early ones where the mechanics are such that there's enough you can do with 3 buttons to have a fairly complex moveset and create a lot of spontaneity. Like there's a punch button, kick button, and doing different things to the enemies in combination with those things gives you a variety of moves. Like if you grab them, if you kick them repeatedly up close, then you'll get them in that sort of like head to knee lock. And you press punch, then that'll trigger a throw. But you don't get that otherwise. If you just punch them up close, then you will actually just trigger a throw. So you gotta figure out ways of maximizing damage for the moves available. And a lot of this also, Streets of Rage 4 does this pretty well. Actually, and Streets of Rage 2 does as well. The third dimension here, the sort of pseudo x-axis on this, going depth up and down. So much of your success depends upon getting just the right distance away from the enemies on that plane so you can hit them, because if you try to hit them head on, method to the madness situation, yeah, there is, and that's one of the reasons it's kind of my favorite genre, if I'm going by play experience and not necessarily like theme or well, what might be called artistic merit, but I don't know. You know, it's not a Killer 7, to be clear. Yeah, so if you try to hit them head on, there's like a range at which everything takes damage. Ooh. That's okay. Yep, I'm down. Yeah, so if you try to hit them head on, then they actually have a little bit greater range than you in some instances, and they will actually stop right before you actually get in range. They'll stop right before they get in range of your attacks. That's what I'm saying. So you gotta maneuver around them. I don't read very often a lot of criticism about brawlers, but mobility is key to successful play, and it's true going all the way back to the origins of the genre. One thing that is neat about the controls on this is the way the jump kicks work. So in the controller layout actually has to kind of mimic the arcade layout, literally, because so you've got your jump button, then you've got kick and punch. Kick is on the left of the jump, punch is on the right. So if you jump and press punch, then you'll kick to the left. Jump and press kick, you'll punch to the right. So it actually, the jump kick actually orients to the direction of the button itself on the arcade machine's physical layout. So I don't know what to make of that, but it's neat. One of the, I'm going to try not to rely on this too much unless I get, like, really stuck. But, one of the special moves that you have access to is, if you press jump and kick at the same time, then you'll do a jump kick behind you. It's a way of making sure that your back is covered. Streets of Rage 4 is actually really good about this. Actually, all the Streets of Rage games include some sort of back attack, and it's really good. But if you press jump and punch, then you'll do an elbow, and that is easily the most abusable. That's kind of neat. I've actually never seen that sprite before. It's the most abusable special move because you actually cover a great deal of distance safely. Like this, see? However, one of the things I like about brawlers is the flash. So, the flashiness of it, so, you know, I'm not going to rely on that too much. Donkey Kong Warfare. Oh, ooh. That's true. If only I had a mascot with a cheeky red cap, and I were hunting bananas. Double Dragon Pong. See, this is what I'm talking about with the, well, yeah, something else that's, oh, well, that's not intended, but something else you can do. Something, you actually can't jump between planes, like up and down, and that's an interesting choice. I don't know why that is. I would be interested to know if there was a design reason for it, or if it was a technical limitation, or just an oversight. Yeah, this is the first of a few environmental hazards that you can encounter. And I feel like that's a pretty important thing for brawlers generally, to have something to make you feel clever. Something, you can use the space as a weapon. Throwing barrels down? Oh no, that would actually be a kind of a cool one-off, you know, a gimmick to include in a level, something you do for like 30 seconds to kind of spice up the gameplay. Something that maybe kind of is an easy win for the player, but an easy win for the player, but gives some variety, especially in between good challenges. Oh yeah, something that's cool about this guy, and it's super short. If you try to grab him, you do it a few more times. Oh, well, I guess you can grab him for a little bit if he's weak. But anyway, he's one of the few enemies that can actually do that, and it's really weird they only signal it very briefly. Yeah, it's got me thinking about, you know, Contra 3, while not a brawler, is, you know, in the shoot 'em up, kill lots of dudes category of games. And one of Contra 3's sort of like signature design qualities is just like throwing a ton of set pieces at you, a ton of unique moments, sort of connected by standard gameplay of, you know, running and shooting a handful of dudes. And I don't have memory or data on hand about other punch 'em games that do the same thing, but I guess the Raining Barrels idea fits that for me. Yeah, it's chaotic. So one of the things about Double Dragon that's interesting is like when it crosses that line between being technical and manageable versus just actually unmanageably chaotic. I kind of want to say when you hit enough enemies that, well, that's maybe not the right verb to use. When the game has enough enemies that it starts to hit like real slowdown, that might be the point where the game's maybe trying to do too much at once. But it's also an arcade game, and you know they advertise those to arcade owners by how many quarters they can get. So having some pretty significant choke points where players can throw in a few more quarters for a few more tries is not off-brand. Yeah. That's my experience with Double Dragon. Sometimes you just get caught getting knocked around by the same guy over and over again, and you just got to break that habit or break the pattern. Losing is a habit. Ooh. The health system in this is kind of opaque. I mean, obviously I've got like 5 bars down there, but there are smaller increments that are actually kind of important to know that I don't have access to. That's it for Jen. That's it for Billy. There we go. Hi, Toe. It's good to see you. Hey, Ark. Good morning. Or good evening, whichever has led up to this moment for you. Oh god, this is brutal. This is a platforming moment in a game that's not designed for platforming. Let's see if I do this. Nope. 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 That's fantastic. Alright, let's try that again. Okay. Yeah, it's really weird. The fall point is actually happens kind of earlier than you might think, given the where the board is. And the landing point is also earlier than the graphics, so, yeah, there we go. I promise I'm good at jumping. Oh. Alright, let's see if I can use this information. Nope, still not. It was one time. Oh, you telling me that didn't hit him? It's nonsense. Oh, wow, I didn't know you could do that. Cool. Alright, come on, Hasselhoff. What happened? Weird. Okay. Experience with slanted errors in a gold source engine mods. Yep. I don't have that experience with that particular frame of reference, but it's a problem when, I don't know. It can be a problem with isometric games generally. It is interesting that I don't have access to this whole margin of the screen. And the enemies do. There have been several instances where like there's a weapon that gets dropped and it's just out of reach, and I can't get it, but fortunately the enemy's AI can go over there, pick it up, and bring it back. So, more baseball bats for me. Just tossing rocks around? Yeah, of course. I mean, this is where that whole Donkey Kong idea really comes to life. Just toss anything. And that's a concussion. Let's see. This is where I would like to say that having those watch your back moves can help you with crowd control, but unfortunately they just wind up being more useful as primary moves in and of themselves, which is what the Streets of Rage games do really well, is they make them support your forward-facing attacks rather than replace them. Blaine! Sup? It's good to see you. Twitch, I try to update it manually, and I don't understand what its timing is. So yeah, the alerts that it sends out are just a little bit off time-wise what I do. So clearly a little bit of finessing to be done there. Anyway, it's awesome to see you, dude. So this is my favorite level transition right here. So obviously I have to get down there, but your character defaults to like pain falling after a very short period. So like this is what you have to do. I love it. And that's the just graciously plummet. It's amazing. Which is a prelude to graciously having your ass handed to you by green-eyed green jumper dude. Actually, he's got the same body as Billy. It's got the from the t-shirt and the sort of denim cut-off vest and everything. A lot of time on Durasane. This actually is Durasane. It's a little-known element of it that Miyazaki worked hard to get the rights to, and to be honest, he succeeded. Artistic success. Oh no. This is a feature of the early... This is a feature of what like the Double Dragon games eventually became, which is this weird, very, very apocalyptic fantasy kind of environment, like story-wise. And the first game seems very much... I mean, it's typical, like... it's obviously based on, like, 80s revenge flick type stories, movies and stuff. But these little things, like, okay, so this guy having green eyes, like, it seems like it's just like a graphical thing, and it seems like it just might be I don't know, something done in haste. But the weirdness of having weird green glowing eyes actually becomes, what's up, dude? Becomes, like, plausibly part of what is weird and wrong with this world, as this game proceeds. Jeez, just like looking at his posture, his lumbar spine has got to be breaking in half. Please come down to, yeah, thank you. No, no, oh, it's just out of reach. Final technique, hey. Yeah, watched the live playthrough of that, watched a Let's Play of that. Oh, no, that's a quarter eater right there. That fall. Yeah, they also made, I think, didn't they make Jimmy and Billy Lee, like, Kung Fu masters with actual, like, Kung Fu stances and stuff, whereas in this one, they're just pretty clearly straight up street brawlers. Please just walk into my foot. Thank you. Yeah, this is the thing where it's like, this guy has green skin and very clearly insect eyes, and like there's something that is not day to day about his physique, and that's part of this world. So yeah, there's an element of weirdness that I don't usually associate with Double Dragon and like kind of like the fantasy universe that it creates. Oh, well, there's my concussion. This, actually, so I have memories of playing the original Double Dragon, the arcades course, but my first experience with this game was actually on the Commodore 64 port. And it's interesting, the Commodore 64, the way that it rendered sprites, it wasn't able to render like a whole character. It you know, a sort of like rectangular shaped, you know, character on the screen. It had to render the top and the body, the top and the bottom part separately as squares, so you could have the leg movements and the punch movements and just combine them in any way that you needed to. And in the instruction manual for the game, they actually had an explanation from the graphics programmer explaining technically exactly why that was, and it was a lovely detail. I wish I had my old copy of the instruction manual for that, but that is unfortunately long, long gone. But anyway, having characters that are entire single sprites, luxury. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what kind of cult this is. It's kind of vaguely Egyptian. Oh, this is brutal. I don't think there's any kind of sign as to which one is going to pop out. Nope. I was thinking maybe it was timing based, so I could wait for one to go, and then that would be my cue for the next, but let's see. Oh, that's interesting. There's a dragon up top. Oh, for God's sake. Wow! That really takes a chunk out! That takes over half your health. It's their own base and they're cowering from their own traps. What a horrible place to work. I know, the music is fantastic. I was thinking about that, about just how important, like the Streets of Rage, the Streets of Rage 4 coming out especially really hits this home, because the Streets of Rage 2 music is just fantastic. But music is so key to a brawler, to really getting that feeling down. Like the first track of Double Dragon has this sort of like aspirational slash underdog heroic feel. And actually, one of my favorite musical moments in video games at all is about to happen. And I'll call it out when we get there. But right now I'm trying to see what the timing is on this. One, two, three. One. One. One, two, three. What? I don't know if there's a pattern to this. Okay, that was fine. It didn't matter. Double Dragon has great workout music? Yeah! Yeah, these death pits, like, seriously, this is where, and we're gonna see this with the final boss, this is where the quarter eating really comes in. Oh, whoops, and I just put a bunch of quarters in. Ha! Whoops. I just spent my allowance. Let's see. Oh god, so many sprites on the screen, we're not prepared to render this. Alright, I'm gonna cheese the elbow here. He walked into like the very last second of its frame, so he's actually taking damage not from the momentum but by the elbow just unceremoniously stuck out there. Pardon me. Accidentally trying to headbutt these guys. Alright. Oh, come on, you kidding me. Would you grab me by my shoelaces? Yeah, Billy, jump and put a credit in. That's your attack. An investment in the future. Jump, kick. Jump, kick. Oh, wow. Really snatched me out of that one. Okay, so this is the musical moment. It's coming. So the track is good, but what's really special about this to me is like, you know, there's some games that take like, they've got like an opening theme, an opening motif. Like I'm thinking, okay, like Castlevania 4, right? Like Simon's song as he enters the castle. That song comes back when you get to Dracula, and it's got this kind of emotional weight where it's like, kind of ties the beginning and the end. This is why you're here, so you kind of have a reaffirmation of purpose. And this is kind of that same feeling, but what's neat about it is there's no like game experience with this song. This is like the attract mode music, and it's the attract mode music, and that makes it like not just like this is the reason why Billy the character is here. This is like you're at the final boss. This is the awesome feeling that the game gave you to make you want to play it in the first place, and it just sort of brings like the player's emotional investment full circle. I really like that. Oh yeah. Thank you, Final Technique. Oh, that's right. That guy can get out of it. Oh yeah, and there's the final boss up there. Just kind of... I don't really know what that expression is. Is it angst? Is it disappointment? Is he upset that he has to finally work? Oh, 2 feet to the back of the head. Okay. So that's cool. So these guys will break out of your knee grab, kind of like forehead smash. But if you set them up with a kick and you go straight into a punch, then you can just throw them. So that's the strategy there that I just figured out and never knew. Oh, that was not good. Oh, literally walked into that. Punching guards in Metal Gear to set them up for a hold-up? Yes! Oh, here we go. Oh. Yeah, so this is where your quarters get eaten majorly, because one of those bullets will take you down to nothing. It's interesting, like, also, his, how his character design resembles Mr. X's from Streets of Rage 2. He's got the he's got the black hair, he's got the widow's peak, he's got the gun, And yeah, punching the guards in Metal Gear, great way to buy yourself that extra second of time you need to clear enough ground to hold them up. Don't remember if you could do that in Metal Gear Solid 4. I think CQC kind of overtook that, but it's been a while. Actually, kind of coming to appreciate what the gun does for what you have to do for the strategy is it does really make you have to brawl. Like, you have to get in there and not create space. Oh, come back, you cowards! Most formidable in martial arts. Gun. Hey, Viper. It's good to see you. May you live happily forever. They literally don't. Rifle CQC, yeah, it is pretty cool and gratifying to sort of like thrust the weight of the weapon in them and kind of like use that to kind of throw them down. It's a good feeling. Dude, it's been forever. I've been following your music on Twitter, but like we haven't like said hi in like a million years. So I'm glad you're here. Do you want to register your score in the online rankings? Note this will overwrite your current score data on the server. I wish I knew what my new and my old scores were so I could put the best one forward, but I'm going to say yes. So this is amazing in terms of what the trophies for this look like. We're gonna do a quick run through this. Um, so Arcade Archives, Double Dragon. I have 100%ed this. Settings can be accessed from here. The option menu is opened. Optimal display settings. Display settings opened. Game settings opened. Button settings. All the manual has been read. Online rankings open. Game has been reset. Score has been posted to online rankings. High score has been updated. Your trophy set is for interfacing with the UI of the emulator. It's fantastic. There's like nothing about the game in there whatsoever. It's just like, which is funny because I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? Because the people who put this out there didn't like make the game; they made the emulated version of it. So this is what they probably had control over and what they could actually read the player doing. Because the game, I'm gonna guess, right? The game is probably in this little box that they can't track any actions in, and like the only thing that they can know what you're doing is the UI. So they put a trophy set together of that. It's pretty it's funny. So anyway, yeah, this Double Dragon. That's the origin of punching a lot. True challenge is actually getting to the game part. You're not wrong. There are like there are like two or three different layers to right here it is to like getting to that point. So I'm going to give me 1 second here as we transition over to Streets of Rage 4, which is dear to me. I'm going to see if I can take a quick break and adjust the stream settings to indicate the game that's actually being played. Okay, that should do it. Played their co-op last night. Yeah, I joined a random arcade game earlier today and was pleased to see how it felt, 2 players. Looks like the camera is frozen. Give me 1 second here. Camera's indeed frozen.